physically present here. But can any of you over here assure me that all your focus is just on me and my speech? That you're not thinking about what you're going to do after this event, or what you're going to have for dinner, or maybe just something as simple as, is your seat comfortable enough or not? We humans, according to a study by the University of Southern California, have 70,000 thoughts a day. That's 50 thoughts a minute. That's way too much thinking going on in our heads. Another study proved that 50% of these thoughts are positive, which obviously leaves the rest to be negative. Our thoughts are what influence the world around us. If people keep generating these negative thoughts, they're more likely to have a negative world around themselves. You're automatically going to assess situations in a negative way if you keep having a negative outlook. People generate these negative thoughts so automatically that they're unaware that this is happening. But what they forget in this process is that this is actually a choice you're making. Often enough, we can't control how we feel, but you can always control how you think. There is an active choice you can make, and that is if you're aware that changing your thinking is important. Changing your own thinking will also influence the people around you to change their thinking. When you start seeing things in a positive way, no matter how bad the situation, it's automatically going to get easier. You're automatically going to start finding solutions for it. 95% of the thoughts that you have today are the thoughts that you had yesterday, and are also the thoughts you will have tomorrow. So imagine the amount of negativity you're surrounded by. Your mindset, in turn, governs your actions, which lead to your results in life. In short, if you have a mindset that limits your potential, you're likely to accept limited results in your life. If I don't get outside my comfort zone, if I keep telling myself that no, that's too hard, seems impossible, never gonna try it, not going outside my comfort zone, I'm never gonna know I can actually do it. I'm never gonna push myself and know definitely if I can do it or not. Push yourself out there. What's the worst that can happen? You don't get what you were looking for, but at least now you know that you tried for it, and you have an assurance that no, I actually did try for it and I couldn't get it. Don't just assume that you can't do it. And when we start taking things in a positive way, again, your world changes. You don't look at the things the way, no matter how bad the situation is gonna get, you're still gonna find a positive outlook towards it. Let's say, before I came up here, I had two choices. I could either let my nervousness take over, get cold feet, tell Mr. Jones, I'm sorry, I can't do this, I'm not going up on the stage, I'm not talking. Or I gather all my courage, tell myself, I know what I have to talk about, and come up here. And obviously, I chose the latter. And for you adults out there, I know you guys have a million responsibilities, and you guys face challenges literally every day. And I believe moving houses is one of them. And obviously, with moving houses comes questions like, what kind of house do I want? How expensive it is? Do I need home loans? What kind of neighborhood it is? And while going through the process, there'll be a point where you want to give up. You're just going to say, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm happy in the house I'm living. I don't want to get a new house. But focus at your end goal. Focus at the fact that once you overcome all these hardships, you're going to get the dream house that you actually dreamt of in the first place. And for students like me, let's say I fail a test. Again, me doing A-levels right now, I have the opportunity, or let's say I have the choice to drop out. I can drop that subject and opt another subject, or just drop that subject completely and not do anything else. But I also have the choice to start working harder for it, to start revising even more than I actually was doing before, or in some cases, I can even hire a tutor. And trust me, you're gonna see the result in your next test. If you keep having this negative thinking, in the future, in the long run, you have very high chances of going through depression or just increased levels of stress. And this leads to heart diseases, strokes, diabetes, obesity. And I'm pretty sure none of us want that. Now, what really worries me today is how media portrays news towards us. This is the same story of the same newspaper, but with two different headlines. One, Trump softens his tone. Another, Trump talks tough on wall. Before even reading these stories, they're the same story again and the same newspaper. But before even reading the story, I'm already going to have a biased opinion about him and about what he's doing. I haven't even read the story yet, and I'm already going to have a negative outlook towards it just by reading the headline. This over here is again the same. Same newspaper, same story. Kenya moving in the right direction, Kenya heading the wrong way. They literally contradict each other. And if I read the second one, if I never saw the first one, if I just read the second one, Kenya heading the wrong way, again, when I will be reading the story, my mind is automatically going to keep telling myself, whatever they're doing, it's wrong, it's not right, this is not right for the country, nope, this isn't it. I don't even know what the reality is. I'm just seeing one side of it. My opinion about the story entirely depends on the headline. Here, these are two different media handles talking about the same story again. Indonesian court sentences British woman to death for smuggling cocaine worth $2.5 million. Another handle, British grandmother facing execution by firing squad in a jungle clearing. If I didn't read the second one, and if I just read the first headline, and I clicked on the story, my mind is automatically going to tell me that that lady is wrong, that what that lady did is wrong, and she deserves to be executed. But is that the truth? Is the media actually giving you two sides of the story? Are you actually sure that when you're reading the headline or when you're reading the story, you're not having a biased opinion about it? Think about it. The media itself is spreading so much negativity that you're automatically starting to see things in a negative way. I have one question for the youth today, which obviously does include me. Why are we so dependent on social networking sites? These are a few posts I come across every day on my newsfeed, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, it's all over. And one thing that I don't understand is why do I need these anonymous strangers on the internet to tell me how I should be feeling about myself or how I should be assessing a situation? I mean, if I'm going through something hard, if I'm going through a bad situation in life, I should be the one telling myself that don't worry, it's going to be fine, you're going to get through this. Why are we so dependent on these social networking sites? And these posts are literally not from the same account. They're from various accounts, different accounts all over. It actually is very worrying. Why can't we trust ourselves? Why are we trusting these strangers? I don't even know who is the owner of the account. And I'm trusting that person because that person told me that, oh, don't worry, you're going to get through this. Why can't I tell myself the same thing and trust myself? To conclude my speech today, I want to tell you guys a few things that you can think about when you go through a hard situation. First, control your response. We humans have the tendency to react. The moment I hear something, I want to react. I want to give my opinion about it. But we all need to calm down and relax. You need to assess the situation. Look at different point of views. Look at the whys, hows, when, what, where. And tell yourself, is you seeing it in a negative way going to affect you in the next 5 years? Or if you think this is something negative, is this particular situation actually benefiting someone? Maybe it's not benefiting you, but it might be benefiting someone else. Think about it. We should stop reacting to things the moment we listen to them. Take a moment to assess situations. Secondly, learn from negative situations. No matter how hard the situation, you're going to come out of it. And once you come out of it, it's not going to ruin you. It's just going to mold you to be a better person. It's just going to teach you a life lesson that you maybe didn't know before. Or if you didn't, if you did know it, you'll start implementing it now. You'll start implementing it after actually going through it. So learn from the negative situations. It's always going to teach you something. It's never going to, even if it takes something from you, it's giving you something back in return, and that is the value, and that is just teaching you how to live a life. And no one has a perfect life. No one has perfect situations going on. Everyone is going to go through negative situations at one point or the other. Thirdly, if you make a mistake, admit it. I personally am going to be honest. I hate admitting if I made a mistake. I just tend to ignore it. No, I'm sorry. No, I didn't do it. No, I'm not doing it. I didn't do it. But we humans, we should start admitting to our mistakes. It's automatically going to make the situation better. If you made a mistake, you realized it, think about the next step. Think about the fact that, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do to make it better? If we start admitting it, it's automatically going to change others' point of view towards you and your own point of view towards the situation. And again, it's nothing to be ashamed about. All of us over here do make mistakes. And to end, and basically what my whole speech was about, maintain a positive view. Your maintaining a positive view is automatically going to make your world a better world than it already is. Thank you.